Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School. And I want to say hello. I am sitting here thinking about life and trying to understand what's going on with the stock market. I think I have some insights that might be helpful to you and beneficial to your understanding of what's going on. But I don't know everything, but I do know a couple of things. So anyway, please, as you come in, please hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't done it yet, please do that. Also, make sure you subscribe to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. We give you daily financial news and commentary from a Black perspective. And that's really important because we're all Black in here, or most of us are. And so it's very important to hashtag B1. Let me know that we're on the same page. All right. So let's talk about the stock market right now. I'm going to give you some breakdowns in terms of what's going on and what I'm seeing and what you might want to think about when you figure out what to do with your portfolio. The goal is to position you to make as much money as possible. And so Joy Ellington and John Maxey and Antonio Spiller and Carlton Woods and Hayes Johns, I'm going to give you some layouts here that I think will help you in terms of your decision making. This is not investment advice, but it's my 2 cents. And so here's what it is. Today is October 29th. The Dow dropped another 200 points. So that makes this arguably, I believe it's on pace to be the worst month in March, or excuse me, worst week since March. What's wrong with me? I guess it must still be early. The worst week since March. So ultimately, you're seeing a little bit of a correction. It's not as bad as yesterday and the day before. Those were they probably felt like bloodbaths. I don't know how many of y'all got your butts kicked and lost some money, or felt like you were losing money. Remember that if you don't sell, it's not a if you don't sell, it's not a realized loss, right? So you don't lose officially until the game is over. And the game's not over until you actually sell the stock. So, these ups and downs happen. That's how the market works. That's just what it is. Now, in addition to this being the worst week since March, you did have some interesting news on the GDP front. I'm not going to say it's good news. I'm going to say it's interesting news. The gross domestic product grew by 33% yesterday, which is insane. Which I mean, normally quarterly you're talking about 2-3%, those numbers like that. But here you had a 33% growth because you had a 31% decline last quarter. I mean, the economy's been just absolutely wrecked by not just the virus, but also the response to the virus. The response has not been as efficient as I believe it could have been. I think that's something that we would probably do differently if we could do it over again. Now, what's interesting, though, in my theory here is that we are doing it a little bit more efficiently this time around, even though we still have the fear, right? The fear is what's moving the market. A lot of it's psychological. It is, we have more cases. Oh, my God, what's going to happen? Things are going to shut down. The world's coming to an end. What are we going to do? And I think that we've gotten a little bit better at managing our fear to the point where it doesn't stifle us. I think people, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, are starting to realize like, hey, wait a minute, I still have to feed my family. Even if there's a virus, even if there's a 0.1% chance that I might die, I still need to make sure the kids eat. Because I don't know about y'all, but I got kids and these little suckers, they just insist on eating every day. And we're trying to talk them out of it, but they don't listen. And so what people are doing now is they're just moving forward. You have a new economy now. You're going to have some people that are going to go out and do things like before, but they're just going to protect themselves. But then also you got a lot of people that are going to work from home. A lot of companies are changing how they do business. This is not going to take us back to where we were before. Like we're never going back to that old life ever again. You're never going to see that old world that you saw before the virus. So that means that, if you're talking about things like commercial real estate in the city of New York, that is never going to recover. Nobody's ever going to go pay $1 jillion per square foot to put up an office in New York City or Silicon Valley or whatever. So that's done. That train has left town. I don't think it's coming back. I think that we have permanently traumatized the world and created, just millions of new germaphobes and people are not going to want to be around other human beings. They're going to become recluses like me. I've worked from home for 20 years. So when the pandemic happened, I kid you not, my life did not change a bit. The only thing that changed was when I did want to go out and eat at a restaurant, I couldn't do it anymore. I didn't like that. But outside of that, my day-to-day work life was pretty much the same. And some of you may have been in the same situation. I've been trying to tell Alicia for years that working from home is awesome. You should do it. And so anyway, let's talk about more things that are going on. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please do that. Also, make sure you subscribe to the Black Financial Channel. The URL is right on the screen. You can also text the word Boyce to 31996 to get notifications. Text Boyce to 31996, and periodically I will send you notifications when I go live so that you will know what's going on in the world of blackness and finance. I'm not a finance professor who happens to be black. I'm a black man who happens to be a finance professor. So if you go to drboycetv.com, you're liable to hear me talking about anything. So let's keep going. All right, so Moderna just launched. They just did a global launch on a new vaccine. I was kind of surprised that didn't move the market more than it did. That either means the market already kind of knew it was going to happen and didn't care, or that they were so buried in the fear that's already out there that they were like, whatever, who cares? Like, big deal, right? And so I thought that was pretty significant because, the vaccine's that's kind of the one big thing that matters for all of this, right? In terms of us feeling safe again, the vaccine is that solves all of our problems, right? We get a vaccine and everybody's safe, everybody's good, or at least everybody feels safe. It's not so much about people being safe. I'm a skeptic. I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist. I think that when they make you feel safe, you ain't really safe, but when they make you feel scared, you might be safer than you actually think. So it's just like this medium I sort of keep where you got to watch your back because they're always trying to get you, but at the same time, it's probably not as scary as you think. And so when Moderna launched this vaccine, that tells me a couple things. One, that we're making progress in that direction, which is good for the economy. And then two, the competitors are watching. So, next comes Pfizer and, and all the other companies that are in the vaccine chase, right? Johnson & Johnson, whatever, right? So I think that's going to be good for the world, good for the economy. I think that's going to fix some of your stocks. So let's talk about the three big things that are moving the market, right? The stock market at this moment. One is that rise in new cases, which is also interesting to me because you've always had new cases every single day. Even when the market was doing well, you had new cases, thousands of them every day, right? But there's something about that sort of, like when you're setting records and it's making headlines, that where people say, "Oh, wait, huh, what? Oh, we got new cases coming," right? But you had new cases every day for the last several months. But now that it's a record, it's like, holy crap! Oh my God, we got to do something, right? And so I'm gonna say that I think sometimes maybe we overreact a little bit. It's like if you think about basketball, right? Let's say that somebody's comparing the Los Angeles Lakers to the Miami Heat, and they value each team. I mean, remember the Lakers played the Heat for the championship, and the Lakers won. But the Heat, the Heat tried really hard. They did their best. They won a couple games, I think. But the Lakers kicked their butt, right? They beat them pretty good. But here's the thing, right? So let's say that you were to value in the minds of the public, the Lakers versus the Heat on a scale of 0 to 10. Maybe people will say, "Oh, the Lakers are a 9, and the Heat are a 6, right? Or a 5, right?" When really maybe the Heat are 7 or 8, right? Maybe if a few more things had gone differently, then the Heat would be the team we'd be talking about instead of the Lakers. Why do I use that example? Well, sometimes little things like setting the record can make you think things are much different from what they actually are. Like if you watch the Olympic finals of the 100-meter dash, the difference in time between the winner and the guy that got third place is usually maybe less than a tenth of a second, right? But if you look at it in terms of perception, who are they talking about the most? Who gets the most attention? The guy that wins is going to get far more attention. So that little 3/100th of a second may not seem like a big deal, but it's a big deal in the minds of people that are watching, right? So this little tiny shift, right, where we suddenly went from having lots of new cases every day to having a record number of new cases every day, caused the market to pay attention. Why? Well, because media Media drives what we discuss. That drives what matters, right? So, for example, if I started tomorrow really on CNN, if they started doing exposés on all the children that have been shot this year in Chicago, imagine if every single day they focused on 2 kids per day and told their story, and you got to crying and you saw what was going on in Chicago, you might then hear people saying, oh my God, we've got to do something about all the killings in Chicago. When kids been getting killed in Chicago, even when you wasn't talking about it, even when Barack was president, kids were getting killed down the street from his house, right? So what you talk about matters. And what that does is that can create buying opportunities for people that pay attention to logic and facts and data and information. So the 3 big movers in the market right now are the new cases, the lack of a stimulus package. Those crappy politicians let us down again. It makes me so mad. I wish they had went ahead. Come on now, you got the $2 trillion. Go ahead and write that check. Go ahead and write that check. And then also this crazy election that's coming up. This election is going to be ridiculous. You know, Trump is going to fight like crazy. He told the Proud Boys to stand down or stand by or whatever. And then the liberals got Antifa who will throw bricks through your windows and burn down your building. And so it's going to be warfare, right? Now those are, by the way, I do see those as white people problems. I don't really see that as our fight. But, you know, if you want to join, feel free. Antifa's over there and the Proud Boys over there. Whichever one you want to join, just go ahead and do that. We'll be over here building. But this election is going to be crazy. The craziness of the election creates uncertainty. No stimulus creates a lack of economic support. The new cases also creates uncertainty. So the question becomes, how do these individual pieces of uncertainty get eliminated? Well, the new cases, that uncertainty gets eliminated through the vaccine. Vaccines are coming. I have no doubt that that's going to happen. How does the stimulus issue get fixed? Well, after the election, after the smoke is clear, around February or January, I believe that's when they're going to push forward with stimulus. I don't think they're going to do anything in the next couple of months, which is really sad and ridiculous. But then again, maybe things will change. When it happens, I believe you're going to see a pop in the market, which makes now a great buying opportunity, which means right now, you know, things are depressed in price. You know, America is on sale. You can go out and own as many white people as you want right now, not the actual people, but you can own their companies. And it doesn't cost you as much today as it would have cost you last Wednesday. And so I think that's pretty good. And then the last piece of uncertainty that needs to be resolved is the election, which will probably be resolved by the courts. And that's going to be interesting. I don't know how that's going to play out. Now James is asking if the market jumps 800 points, is that fundamentals or is it media? I think that's a good question. I think it could be both. It could be either one. I keep waiting for that piece of information, or maybe fundamentals that are promoted by the media, right? So Nancy Pelosi comes out and says, dun, dun, you know, we got together at the last minute and we hammered out a deal. We're going to go ahead and pass the stimulus today. It's coming, checks in the mail. Everything's good, y'all. Well, that's an 800-point pop, right? Maybe 1,000 points, right? You're all making money. And that's, you know, because there's fundamental reasons to understand that a bigger stimulus is just good for everybody, right? It makes the world happy. It makes the financial world very happy. So I would say that it could be a mix of both. I don't think it's an either or kind of thing. Now, let me keep going. Do me a favor. If you're watching online, please hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up, share, and subscribe button. And in a moment, I'm actually going to have to bounce out of here because Alicia's waiting for me. I want to share a URL with you if you want to learn about stock options. We have a great options investing program in the Black Business School. It's blackoptionsinvesting.com. That's blackoptionsinvesting.com. Feel free to go check that out. I told you guys how I earn my income through writing call options every month, and I think that's a really great way to do it. And I can show you, you know, some of what I do and what I know and stuff like that. So feel free to go take a look. The first month is $1, by the way. It's just $1. All right. So a couple of the pieces of news. One, there's a drop in unemployment benefits. That's a big deal. That's a fundamental piece of information that tells us that the economy is getting better, which is a very good thing. And also there's another thing that isn't really being talked about as much as it should be, but it's pretty huge in my mind, is a lot of corporations are reporting their earnings right now. Earnings matter, right? I mean, that's what drives the stock price, is how much money is the company making? How much are they expected to make? You know, all that stuff. Companies are making a ton of money. You know, Microsoft just, absolutely murdered their earnings report. There are other companies that have released that are just doing so well right now. 85% of all companies that reported earnings for the third quarter passed their expectation, exceeded expectations. So these are good companies. From a fundamental standpoint, you've got a good market. You've got a good economy, relatively speaking. If they just get this little monkey off the back, I mean, it's like you've got LeBron James. He's just got a twisted ankle. Once his ankle gets better, he's going to become LeBron again, right? So you don't treat him like he's the scrub on the bench. You just treat him like a superstar who needs an ankle brace and who's getting better, right? So I would just say to you that that a lot of the stuff that's happening right now, it's a little bit sad, almost frustrating, because it's very clear exactly which barriers we have that are keeping us from having explosive economic growth and opportunity. I think that the holiday season is going to be a big deal. Black Friday is going to be a big deal. If I'm a politician, I'm trying to get goodwill in the community. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can make a couple of announcements and make a couple of fiscal policy moves that are going to make Black Friday and Christmas extraordinary. Because if Black Friday and Christmas are extraordinary, then a lot of the horrors of 2020 will go away. But the horrors actually haven't extended to you, because if you've been investing consistently, like we've been talking about, you're going to end up doing extremely well. Now, Christopher says you predicted that the coronavirus was going to go away. Yeah, I predicted after the election they're going to stop talking about it as much. It's going to go away like it went away in China. In China, if you ask them, do you have any coronavirus in your country? Do you have any coronavirus in your country? They'll be like, no, we have no coronavirus. We got rid of coronavirus. They ain't got rid of no damn coronavirus. That coronavirus ain't gone. It's still there. People still dying from it. They just ain't telling you about it. See, and so if you don't know, I mean, again, I'm a cynic. Maybe that's just me, right? Just write it off. I'm a cynical bastard. Governments lie to you. They lie. That's just what they do. So I think that the media is going to keep doing what they do, which is lie. And they're going to lie in a way that benefits them. So after the election's over and they have no incentive to keep you scared to death, I know y'all think he said that's not nice. You're right. That wasn't nice, but I thought it was kind of funny. Anyway, China's a beautiful place, by the way. Alicia and I went to China last year. We love the country. But here's the point. And I gotta go. The thing about it is that what they report in media makes a big difference in terms of the perception of risk. Right? Risk is not the only thing. It's not real risk that matters as much as the perception of risk. So you feeling like you're in danger can have a greater impact on your financial life than you actually being in danger. So right now you are a little bit in danger for sure, right? But you probably feel that you're in more danger than you actually are. So what I'm trying to do is help you sort out the real from the fake so that you can know how to move forward in a way that's going to benefit you financially. So the synopsis here, and I got to run, is stocks are cheap. I love this market. I'm going to buy everything I can get my hands on, because I believe that within the next few months, you're going to see awesome things happening in the economy. So I got to go, guys. It is time for me to have my next meeting. Hit the thumbs up button before you go. Thumbs up, share, subscribe button. Also, if you want your kids to become financially literate and financially intelligent, which I told you that's part of our big Project 2070 for the Black Business School, is that we believe by the year 2070, the Black community can be the most financially literate community on earth. Like, we believe that, but we got to plant seeds in our children and get them ahead of the curve. So if you want to take a look, we have financial workbooks and flashcards we created by Black educators for Black children, specifically for our kids, for nobody else. You can go take a look at financialworkbooks.com. That's financialworkbooks.com. Also, please hit the feel free to text the word Boyce to 31996. You get notifications when they go live, stuff like that. I got to bounce. Have a good day, everybody. Love you, and happy investing. I hope you go make $1 trillion this week. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.